interview the new CEO of East and Central Africa's largest company, Safaricom. That's Peter Ndegwa there, sir. If you can hear us, welcome to Sunday Live. Good to see you.
Nice to see you, Jeff, and thank you for welcoming me.
Okay, so real quick, you've been on the job now, what, 19 days, less than 3 weeks, and you've literally hit the ground running. Baptism by fire, you call it. Any phrase you want, you call it. My first question will be, have you been to Safaricom headquarters or are you working from home?
Jeff, I have joined in interesting times at this stage, and I have to say that it is really interesting. I can hear an echo, Jeff. Okay. Can you hear me?
We can hear you very well. You keep going. Forget about the echo. Just keep going, sir.
Okay. Yes, Jeff, as you know, you're broadcasting from my house, which is where I've been working from. But yes, I have been to Safaricom house. I have joined in interesting times, but interesting times call for big leadership, Jeff.
Absolutely.
Peter, Victoria here. How does it feel? You're the first Kenyan CEO of Safaricom. We saw your past two predecessors almost create personas outside of the CEO office and becoming, for lack of a better term, the people's CEO. Do you feel the need to create a persona of your own like they did?
Thank you, Victoria. I think the first thing that I'll start by saying is I want to pay tribute to my predecessors, both Michael, who was the first CEO, but also the late Bob, for steering this company to what it is today, which is the biggest and the most successful business in Eastern Africa. And actually, as you know, Safaricom is a real pride for this country and a source of pride for this country. So for me, I am delighted to be the first Kenyan to be the CEO of Safaricom. I will be my own person, Victoria. I know that Safaricom has been successful because of the support that we have had from Kenyans over the years. I have grown up in this country. I was born in this country. I schooled in this country. I understand what ordinary people of this country go through. And for me, my commitment is to serve, to build on the legacy that both Michael and Bob have left, to take this business to the next stage. But the most important thing is for me to serve Kenyans. This business's DNA is about serving Kenyans, Victoria.
Absolutely, Peter. And you say it's about serving Kenyans, and you come at a time where it's an unprecedented time, like you said yourself. With your employees, and Safaricom has employed what, maybe 3,500, maybe more workers. How many of that, what percentage of that are working from home right now? How many are in the office? What's that like? What's the new scenario like, if you will?
So, Jeff, one of the things that we have done at Safaricom, we recognize that we are offering an essential service to this country, which is about keeping the country connected. And therefore, the first thing we have done is to ensure that our employees can be able to keep our network going, both on the voice data, but also on M-Pesa. And therefore, we have enabled all our employees to have the capacity to work from home. Today, 70% of our employees are able to work from home. The rest are working because we need to keep our shops open. Most of our shops are open across the country. We have our technology and IT teams who are maintaining our network to keep serving Kenyans and also our customers, and ensuring that we continue to obey the rules that the government has set in terms of PPEs social distancing and ensuring that our customers are served. But today, Jeff, 70% of our employees can easily work from home, and we have contingency plans in case we need to make any more of our employees work from home. But we'll keep the lights on, so to say, to ensure that Kenyans are connected through this crisis.
And Peter, speaking of keeping Kenyans connected, there's a huge surge and need for data and home fiber because a lot of people are at home. How is Safaricom handling that building demand? And also, I can see concerns from Kenyans saying the cost of data as well. How are you managing that too?
So, Victoria, one of the elements that we have really shifted since the crisis emerged is to ensure that we can support our customers to get through this crisis. And one of the big things we have done is to ensure that as people start to work and also learn from home, we have doubled capacity on fiber at home, but also fiber to business. And we have seen significant uptick of that service. We have seen significant demand of connections or demand for connections. And I know that we have had some challenges given the level of demand as we have adjusted. So, however, we have been able to stabilize that, and I would ask our customers to bear with us as we make sure that we ensure that our service is at its best. The second, Victoria, that we are doing is to make sure that we give concessionary rates to ensure that our students can continue to learn. We have zero-rated websites that give content to students both for primary and secondary schools so that they can access content and also revise for exams. So therefore, we have actually reduced the cost of data since the crisis emerged. And this is not just for our fiber business, but also for our mobile business.
Peter, let me ask you about the call center that you have. Read somewhere that you're receiving something like 20,000 calls every day via the number *719#. And it's just not the call center. You have actually doctors on standby for the questions that Kenyans are asking. Talk to us about that.
Yes, Jeff, that is true. We are working and we've been partnering with the government, in particular the Ministry of Health, in its initiative to ensure that we educate Kenyans about how to stay safe and ensure that we keep the country going in that respect. So we've set up the 719 number, which is a free line, and also set up a 300-strong call center, including 20 professional doctors that are receiving up to 20,000 calls every day from Kenyans calling to talk about the issues they are experiencing, asking questions about corona, and also those who are interested in contacting hospitals. So yes, Jeff, we've really partnered with government on this to make sure that the call center supports the country during this time. And this is a big partnership between us and the Ministry of Health. Mm.
Peter, you're taking the helm at Safaricom at a very difficult time. COVID-19 was an emergency, a crisis that we never saw coming, and to be honest, no one was ready for. Coming in at this time, what are your priorities for Safaricom and navigating this very unprecedented, uncharted time? Where do you see the company going, and what are your key priorities moving forward?
So, Victoria, one of our big priorities at this stage is to make sure that we ensure that Kenyans go through this crisis. We enable our customers go through this crisis, and we reduce the impact that Kenyans are facing. So in terms of support, I have said we are supporting our customers by providing the capacity to work from home and also learn from home. On the M-Pesa side, we have zero-rated any transactions below 1,000. So anyone who's transferring money below 1,000, we have zero-rated that. That is costing us about 5.5 billion Kenya shillings over the next 3 months. And we are committed to make sure we support the country on that respect. So Victoria, the key is to support our customers to get through this crisis by supporting them on both the GSM but also M-Pesa, to ensure that we support our community. We have committed 200 million Kenya shillings to the food initiative that the government has come up with. You know that the government, through the president, has set up the COVID emergency fund, and we have committed 200 million shillings. And we will use M-Pesa and partner with government to ensure that the money goes to the right people. We've also launched what we are calling Bonga for Good, which is an initiative for our customers to reward, to transfer their points which they have accumulated over the years to people who are needy and who want food and who can redeem those points at Lipa na M-Pesa merchants across the country. So our first priority at this time is actually to ensure that our customers, our community, and our country gets through this crisis. And the second is also to think about when this crisis is over. Of course, we need to enable the country to come back. We are thinking, and I'm getting through my onboarding session. We know that this company, Safaricom, has been very successful, but we have been very successful because Kenya has supported us. The Kenyans have supported us. So it is ensuring that we get our Kenyans through this crisis, that then we can build the future of Safaricom. For me, Safaricom has been known for technology and for innovation, and also for the DNA of serving this community, or the Kenyan population. That's one of the DNA that I'll continue to drive going forward. I know that the traditional sources, some of the traditional sources of growth for the company have started to plateau, like voice and SMS. However, there is significant opportunity for data. And I believe that we can innovate through technology and our innovation to ensure that data is more accessible, the handsets are more accessible, that education is more accessible, and other aspects of issues within the country, like health and agriculture, as more accessible. The key is for us to innovate so that we empower people to have a better life in this country. There is significant opportunity also to look at other areas of growth, Victoria, including potential expansion beyond this country, but the headroom for growth in this country through innovation, and in particular through digital, on both at a personal but also in business, is significant.
All right, Peter, for those who don't know your background, real quick, you were MD of Diageo in Eastern Europe, Russia, North Africa. Before that, you were MD in Ghana and Nigeria. So if I could ask you a kind of an unfair question, selling alcohol is very different from selling bundles or data. Kenyans are not too picky about alcohol, but they're very picky about data.
Yes, Jeff. For me, I do agree. The sectors are very different. So I have come from a consumer goods business that was selling drinks. I'm coming into a consumer business that sells voice, data, and financial services. The key for me, though, Jeff, is they are all consumers. It is about understanding customers, understanding their needs. But more importantly, Jeff, is about ensuring that we stay to the DNA of what Safaricom is, which is ensuring that we improve the lives of Kenyans. So selling data, we have to make sure that data is accessible. We have to make sure that we democratize the use of data, whether that is for education, as we've seen during the COVID crisis, our kids and our students in schools need to access data. It is my job to ensure that we make data accessible. Of course, we need to make sure that we get handsets in the country which can improve the user experience, and that is an agenda that we are going after by making sure that handsets are accessible. We'll be coming back to customers to say that they can buy handsets over time, and we will support them over the period. So Jeff, I think the key here is that customers are the same. It is about understanding the needs of customers, but also for me, for Safaricom, it's about ensuring that we improve the livelihoods of Kenyans.
Peter, Jeff started the last question by giving a litany of where you used to work professionally, but let me start this one by asking this. What was a personal challenge you went through, maybe from your childhood, that made you the man that we see in front of us now and that sits at the helm of Safaricom? What informed and brought up the characteristics and principles that guide you now?
Thank you, Victoria. I grew up. I was born in rural Kenya, a second born in a typical large family. So I learned very early in my life to take responsibility. I grew up at a time when doing the right thing, integrity was big. I got inspired by ordinary people, my parents, my teachers, and have always worked hard to ensure that I give my best to everything that I do. I always aspired to do well. And I've been lucky to get through and get a great career, starting with Pricewaterhouse and also with Diageo, working with some of the best companies at the highest level. But my principle has always to do the right thing, to keep learning, to keep growing, to always be humble and ensure that you keep learning and growing. When you stop learning, then you don't grow anymore. So for me, it is about keep pushing the boundaries, but drive for what you believe in. And that's what I've always been known for, and that's what I stand for. And that's what I promise to do as CEO of Safaricom.
Yeah, I'm sure, Peter, qualities you learned under Jeffrey Griffin at Starehe. But let me ask you this. Where do you see Safaricom in the next 3 years?
So, Jeff, Safaricom has been a very successful business. I see Safaricom re-establishing the next phase of growth, M-Pesa 2.0. We need to get Safaricom to the next stage in the future. Safaricom will still be the biggest organization in Kenya. I see Safaricom beyond Kenya and being a much more African leader, and indeed a global leader. We need to expand our comparison beyond Kenya to ensure that Safaricom's success can be known well beyond this country. It is a source of pride for this country. We can export this pride beyond Kenya. However, having said that, Jeff, it is also ensuring that we keep going back to the DNA of what we are to this country, which is about improving the lives of the Kenyan people. Customer first to be a big principle of mine, and the Safaricom team already know that customer experience is going to be a major focus for me in the coming years. So it will continue to be successful. It will be the leader that it has been, but we'll get it to lead well beyond this country.
Yeah, Peter Ndegwa, hitting the ground running
Absolutely.
and smack in the middle of the storm. All we can do is wish you luck, my friend.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time and all the best.
Thank you very much, Jeff and Victoria. Thank you.
All right, that's Peter Ndegwa there, CEO of East and Central Africa's largest company, Safaricom. We're going to take a quick break, come back. There's plenty more ahead. Keep tweeting at Koinange Jeff.
At Vicky Rubadiri.